This is why partnering with the community, again, in my opinion, is imperative, because when it does happen, you definitely want to have your community support. Like, hey, we know what these guys are out there doing. We know what they're up against. And we also know that there have been officers killed by these assailants possessing these fluorescent yellow guns, these fluorescent orange guns, under the impression, oh, it's a toy. Until the projectile comes out and you know, bad things happen.
Hey, Black and Blue fam, welcome to the Black and Blue podcast, where we celebrate diversity in U.S. law enforcement. Hey, my name is Dale, and I'm the host, as you see right there as I popped up. I'm out here in the streets because today this is Black and Blue Street Life. If you don't know already, that's where I take the podcast out of the studio and into the streets. Today, I'm out here at this beautiful facility out here in Henderson, Nevada. I'm outside of my home state of California right now, and I got a real special guest for you today. He is a tenured law enforcement officer out here in the state of Nevada, and he also is a representative of the NAACP chapter out here in Nevada. So everybody, please help me welcome to the show, Donavan McIntosh. How you doing, sir?
Good, man. It's good to meet you.
Oh yeah, good to meet you, man. I'm glad you picked this location here. This is a pretty dope location here.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean it's quiet and peaceful, and I figured, this be somewhere where we could, get a good dialogue exchange without being disturbed.
No doubt. So, like I said, you are out here in Nevada. How long you been out here? You a native or?
So, a little bit about me. I'm born and raised in Trenton, New Jersey. I left New Jersey in '87. I joined the military. I served my country in the United States Army for a few years.
Service.
Absolutely. I left the Army. I moved to Las Vegas. I came out after being discharged, and I came out here on a vacation. And I looked around and I said, you know what, this probably would be a great place to establish myself, pursue a career in law enforcement, and some educational goals. And so I've been out here since 1989. And I've never looked back. So I mean,
you've probably been out here longer than you were in New Jersey.
I have.
Yeah,
I have. So yeah, this is my home right now, and it's arguably one of the best decisions I've made was moving to Nevada.
Absolutely. And you still got people back in Jersey?
Oh yeah. My all my family, aunts, cousins, uncles. I mean, New Jersey is still, my home away from home. I visit frequently, and my mother, who has a birthday here in the next couple weeks, is going to come out here shortly after her birthday to watch me walk across the stage and graduate with another degree.
Oh wow! Congratulations!
So, thank you.
Congratulations! What's the degree in?
So it's in criminal justice, and I know as a police officer, we tend to take the easy route. However, having an associate's degree in criminal justice, a lot of those classes were easily transferred to allow me to get a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, which for me was a prerequisite for law school. So as you know, in order to apply for law school, you have to have a bachelor's degree.
Right.
So I would tell anybody, now, with the amount of time that I've had in law enforcement, as far as a college degree, you want to have a degree that enables you to, be successful outside of those degrees. What I mean by that is a business degree, an accounting degree will go a lot longer, a lot farther.
It's funny you say that. I have a BA in accounting,
Right.
and I've got a master's in organizational leadership. So I kind of went the different route away from law enforcement, like you just said right there. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's one of those things where I believe it kind of makes your skill set one-dimensional, and when you have degrees in business, outside of, post-retirement, you could always fall back on those degrees as opposed to a degree in criminal justice. So I learned a lot, but I do believe having some of those degrees like in criminal justice and being a cop kind of limit you outside of law enforcement.
Well, they kind of intertwine together. You
Right.
get a lot of those classes in
Right.
the academy anyway.
Right. Absolutely.
It's kind of, granted, it is what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, so
Right.
maybe it kind of helps you out if you want to, progress in your career in law enforcement, but getting it in something else also makes you more well-rounded. If you get into computer science, maybe, there's a part in your department where you can do something with computers. If you
Right.
get it in management, all that.
And one of the things you mentioned as far as management is concerned, I think it's a great idea, when you start moving up the chain for upper level management, command staff, to have these degrees in business and management and so on and so forth, because I think it makes you more of a well-rounded supervisor or leader when you start getting into budgets and you start getting into the numbers that are outside of like your everyday day-to-day operations with just patrol. And like, again, I believe that a degree in criminal justice kind of limits you as you go up the chain. I think you need that skill set, when you go from being like a line officer to a line supervisor to management. You need those
mid-level and upper management.
Absolutely, mid-level to upper management. You need that skill set.
Okay, absolutely. And but you're looking to get out of that and go into law. What side of law you looking to get into?
So, so right now, I mean, I am contemplating civil rights, employment law. I think those are the areas that I'm mostly passionate about. But there's also real estate law that, I've grown to kind of lean towards, only because I've been a real estate agent now for a few years, and so I'm still relatively passionate about real estate. But I think once I do, get to law school and get my law school legs under me, I think I'll probably be able to definitively say like what direction I want to go into.
Right.
Because once upon a time it was patent law. It was
Patents?
patent law for
Really?
patents, intellectual property, until I learned like there's a separate bar you have to take. There's a separate bar you have to take to become a patent lawyer. Most of those guys are engineers, have degrees in engineering, and so I said, you know what? We're going to hold off on that, and I'll stick to serving the community, protecting civil rights and employment rights and so on and so forth. Because again, those are some of the areas that I'm mostly passionate about.
Right. Now you said employment rights and civil rights. It sounds like you said you're passionate about that. Is there something behind that, or why you're so passionate about it?
Well, I think being in law enforcement for as long as I've been, I've seen some things obviously, and I believe the scales of justice has been in balance for a long period of time.
Okay.
For people of color, for people of different socioeconomic statuses, for just a myriad of different reasons. And I'll give you an example. You could have one person of one background commit a crime and another person of another background commit the same crime. You might have two completely different outcomes. And so knowing that there's been such an imbalance, what I'd like to do is I'd like to see everybody treated equally, fairly, no matter your political affiliations, your religious backgrounds. It's to me, it's not about that. It's about a fair and equal application of the law, no matter who you are, no matter how much money you have or don't have. So those are some of the things that
part.
Over the last decade or so, I've just been kind of noticing some trends and some different outcomes. And I said, I believe we need more good cops, but I also believe we need more good lawyers to protect those that can't protect themselves.
Okay.
So
okay.
That's kind of been my thing for a while now, and here I am, just graduating, about to walk across the stage, and I've taken the LSAT, applied for some law schools, and I'm in the queue right now.
All right.
So I mean, we'll see. The saga continues.
You gonna stay out here in Nevada?
So I did apply. I did apply for Boyd. It is a great school. I've spoke to several alums that speak nothing but great things about it. I've already did the tour of the campus, and so if I had to stay home to go to Boyd, I would not be mad about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if you get accepted elsewhere, you willing to move? And
so there's a contingency plan for that. Yeah, there's I mean, I really like ASU. I do. I really like Arizona. And then there's some schools back east in Delaware, and in New Jersey and the surrounding area.
Bring it back home to New Jersey.
Come back. I mean, I like to follow my uncle's footsteps and go to Howard. But yeah,
dear to my heart. My daughter's there right now.
Yeah, be a Bison. But the deadline. I missed the deadline to apply. So they're like, hey, if you want, if things don't fare well this fall, you could always apply in this next spring. Right. So I mean, there's pros and cons. Yeah. There's pros and cons because going to an HBCU, as a non-traditional student means something a little bit different.
Yeah.
Going back to college, in your 50s I think is a little bit different when you're going, fresh out of high school, in an undergrad. It's a little bit different for me. Like, my expectations are a little bit different. I'm actually going to pursue academic excellence as opposed to going to somewhere where it's a party school, where I'm just where I want to live in the dorm.
Yep.
I want to hang out, and it's just like, that ship has sailed. For me, it's about getting in, learning as much as I can, preparing me for the bar, passing the bar because there's hurdles.
Yeah.
And continue to serve this great community.
All right.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, so you said we're a Nevada officer out here. How long you been with your department?
So I've been a peace officer in the state of Nevada for it's going on 24 years.
Okay.
And it has been an interesting journey to see how law enforcement, seeing how policing has changed over the past decades. When I came in the late 90s, we were still using PR-24s. you know what I mean?
Yes. For those of y'all that don't know, that's the side handle baton.
Side handle baton. Oh yeah.
I know.
Yeah, and to see it evolve into where we're at now, I remember vividly going to calls, having to pull over and pull out the street guide to find out where I was going. And now, technology has advanced so much where we're using GPS. And we're getting the calls in a more timely fashion, and we're able to serve the community a little bit better. So I think it's a good thing, and I also think that it's a good thing that we got away from those PR-24s.
No doubt.
We got away
No
from
doubt.
those PR-24s, and now we have these tiny little retractable batons.
Yeah, RCBs.
Yeah. So I mean, it's good, and I think it's good that we've evolved, as far as our tools. We're not. It's not, well, the PR-24 didn't work, so now we got to go to lethal. I think that the training that we're afforded now has advanced. The tools, has advanced, and I think for that it affords us more opportunities, to engage and police, and like I said, going back prior to when I first started, these guys had the SAPs, and I've heard stories of,
Oh yeah.
I mean the wheel gun, and I'm just like, I couldn't imagine having a speed loader, and some of the things that they had, and didn't want to go to semi-automatics. Fought a tooth and nail.
Yep.
I didn't want to go away from the wheel gun, and the speed loaders. And I'm just like, you're kidding me. Like, why wouldn't you? You know what I mean?
Well, that's what they say about cops. Two things cops hate: the way things are,
Yeah.
and the way,
Oh,
and the way
absolutely.
things gonna be.
And wait,
Yep.
you know what I mean. So it's really good. I'm just so happy that I was afforded the opportunity to work and learn and be a part of change. Be a part of some change in the community. One of the things that I wanted to mention was, I had a huge role in the development of the active shooter program that we develop out here. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with it, but it's a MACTAC program. Yeah. So it's basically an active shooter program that trains you different tactics to address active shooters. It's almost like how SWAT would respond, and these tactics are taken directly out of the Army Ranger handbook. So we're using hand signals. There's different levels to how we're going to approach, and I'll give you an example. As opposed to arriving on scene, you're hearing gunshots inside. We're outside waiting for backup. We're not doing that now.
Yep.
We're our response has evolved to lone wolf style of response. So it's like, what, people are in there getting hurt. I got to go in. You're lone wolf. You're going in there by yourself. Or there's a lull, right? There's a lull. We got the place surrounded. We're setting up a tactical team to go in and address that threat. That's it. And I've had the opportunity to go train different police agencies as a master instructor, getting people ready in the event of an active shooter. And so, that's one of several highlights in my career. But I think that any agency, regardless of how big or how small, and we've seen this nationwide where there's active shooters and stuff, and people with long guns and all this ballistic gear and this training.
That's what happened in Memphis.
Absolutely, but have no idea what to do, and I think again for us, I think you provide this type of training, for every agency. I think it can help cut down on the amount of lives lost, the perception of the police. No one wants to see the police surrounding a building while people are inside getting hurt. No one wants to see that, myself included.
Uvalde, Texas.
Yeah, absolutely. And I received so many calls about that. And the first thing that came to my mind was, did they have this MACTAC training? Were they properly trained? And if not, why? Why hasn't this training made its way to these smaller agencies? Because what history has shown is it can happen anywhere, anytime by any person. You know what I mean? And so it was painful to watch. And I'm not going to go Monday morning quarterback up. You know what I would have done if I was there. I can't say what I would have done if I were there. But in my professional opinion, I think that this training could have made a difference in the response. So.
Well, I mean, we can Monday morning quarterback because that's what we do.
Right.
In law enforcement.
We do.
Yeah. I mean, but we do it. We can do it professionally as well.
Right.
We look at briefing during our briefings. We look at videos and we look at what different things different officers did right. Different,
Absolutely.
Things that they did wrong.
Absolutely.
How we could improve upon it. How
Yeah.
we could if we come upon that situation, why how we would do it if it comes up on us.
Right.
That's why we get these training bulletins too. Of
Absolutely.
you get training bulletins of toy guns that look like that are real guns
That are painted orange.
that are painted orange.
Yeah.
And, you'll get all these different things so that you can say that with some certainty that if it happens to you, you'll know how to react.
Right. And one of the things that I wanted to touch on is the relationship with the community as far as this training is concerned. You understand? Because there are people out there that believe that we have this ability to be able to automatically determine whether or not that's a toy gun or not. You understand?
Yeah.
And so I think we've taken a lot of flack, but one of the things that we could do is, while we're being educated, educate the community. Hey, this is out there.
Yep.
This is out there, and we don't have that innate ability to make these split-second decisions to shoot the gun out of someone's hand or be like, well, it's orange, so it must be a toy gun.
But they see Dirty Harry do it. They shoot.
Right.
They see Dirty Harry shoot a gun out of someone's hands from 100 yards out.
Right. But again, this is why partnering with the community, again, in my opinion, is imperative, because when it does happen, you definitely want to have your community support. Like, hey, we know what these guys are out there doing. We know what they're up against. And we also know that there have been officers killed by these assailants possessing these fluorescent yellow guns, these fluorescent orange guns, under the impression, it's a toy. Until a projectile comes out and bad things happen.
There's a reason why they paint them fluorescent orange, and yellow, and green.
Exactly. And unfortunately, we have to make these life,
split second
decisions.
Split second. Like that.
Yeah. And it's just like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. But again, as we're getting the training, I think, again, partnering with the community, educating the community is the best thing that we could do in the event that something happens. Now the community is kind of like, well, we knew these things were out there. We were aware that people were doing this, and unfortunately, if we can't do it, how can we expect them to do it? There is no training that will teach you to look at a gun, split second, and be able to discern whether or not it's a viable threat or not.
Yep. I've seen trainings. You were talking about the active shooter training. I've also seen trainings where they allow citizens to come in and do like the shooter don't shoot scenarios.
Absolutely.
And then they can see the things that we have to see.
Absolutely.
On a daily and split second decisions like that. So
absolutely.
That's a good thing. You bring in those community members to see that as well.
Absolutely. We work for the people. We are servants of the people. And again, one of the things that I take pride in is being able to inform the community. Like I said, I try to get out and speak in public forums as a representative of the NAACP every opportunity that I can, because I don't think we do enough of that. I don't think we do enough of that. I think that in certain parts of the world, The relationship between law enforcement and the community is torn. In some places beyond repair. You know, it's this us versus them mentality. And so, you know, I think we need them just like they need us. Because we're not going away and they're not going away.
Right.
So we have to find this happy medium so we can coexist harmoniously. And I think you do that by baby steps. Yep. It's not gonna, we're not gonna host a barbecue where everybody get together and powwow and the next day everything's gonna be great, because it's not. But I do think by, you know, highlighting some of the good that we're doing, because there's officers out there that are just doing a phenomenal job that don't get the recognition because, well, that's your job. That's your job. Yeah. You know, but you know, you make one error, you know, throughout your 25 years, and you're gonna get nailed to the cross.
Ain't that the truth?
You know what I mean? Yeah, he was a bad apple the whole time. It just took us 25 years to figure it out. Well, no, he's a good guy who made a mistake, because we're all human. You know what I mean? And it's unfortunate.
Or they'll flip it and say, right. 25 years, you were doing all that dirt. Right. You just got caught now.
Right, and you just got caught now.
You just got caught now.
You know, and again, it's unfortunate, you know, the perception of the profession based on the actions of just a small percentage of law enforcement professionals. You know, I can honestly say I've worked with task force details with marshals, FBI. I've worked with the major agency, just about every agency here in the Valley. And I've learned a lot. And there's some really great people. There's some really great people, both men and both women, out here that actually take the oath seriously. You know, it's not just a paycheck. It's not just the privileges that are afforded, you know, when you get to carry a badge and a gun. You know, there are a lot of professionals out here that take the job serious and actually go out here and give 100% every day, because it's a thankless job, and you and I both know that.
We do.
You know, but unfortunately, you know, in today's climate, you know, you make one mistake, and you know, these little molehills turn into mountains. You know what I mean, and we've seen that, and it's unfortunate. It really is.
Yep. So how'd you get involved with the NAACP?
So that's a good question. I knew towards, you know, once I got to over 20 years, you know, I felt like, you know, I'm out here on patrol. You know, you have a life expectancy on patrol. Like, your body can only take so much being out there, you know, shaking hands and being
You're looking pretty good, though.
I try, but I think, and I'm going to circle back. I think patrol is one of those jobs where how can I say this? You give up the right to be out of shape, and that's just me.
Okay.
That's just me. That's a personal.
Yeah.
That's a personal choice. Only because, you know, I feared being taken advantage of in the streets, you know, by someone that could physically overpower me. You know, another thing about me is I started a personal training business, you know, shortly after I was afforded the opportunity to become a TAC officer out at the police academy. And because I was in relatively good shape, I got the job as being the lead PT instructor.
Okay.
So those are some of the things that, you know, I was just like, man, I wish everyone took this serious. Yep. You know what I mean? Even from the military, you know, we had annual PT tests that made you stay in shape. One of the things that, you know, the stereotype that we carry is we all eat donuts. You know what I mean? I'm just like, yeah, you know, maybe 20 years ago, 30 years ago, yeah, that was us, but not now. Yep. You know, we're in the gym, we're taking protein shakes. You know what I mean? We're doing CrossFit, we're doing jiu-jitsu, because the bad guys are doing that now. and we have to be able to keep up with them. So one of my biggest fears was, again, when these guys started doing this MMA, I'm like, I need to stay in shape, because the last thing I want is someone to overpower me and take advantage of me, and bad things happen. So circling back, I got involved with the NAACPs because I wanted to do more for the community. Okay. I wanted to be the catalyst for change. When people had questions about the law enforcement profession, I wanted to be able to speak the truth, without pointing fingers and offering solutions based on what I believe, not the beliefs of the agency that I work for. You understand? Like, yeah. When I'm speaking on behalf of the NAACP and not any agency, not any. This is Donavan McIntosh, NAACP member, speaking, and so I take pride in when people call me and say, hey, what do you think about defunding, the defunding of the police agencies here and there, and most often, I try to, again, educate people, on these buzzwords, because people, you hear defunding the police, and next thing you know, everyone's talking about defunding the police. Well, we're going to defund the police. Well, do you know what defunding the police means? Because a lot of people think it means, well, they're going to do away with the police agency, for a lot of these areas that really don't like the police, and that's not what it means. And so when you tell them, it's like, well, they're going to take away money that could be used for diversity training, for other types of training, for better equipment to do their jobs better, and so when they take that away, now you can't say, well, they should have been better trained. Well, no, you guys voted to defund the police, and so now they don't have these opportunities to get the new equipment, to get the training, but that's what you voted for. So I think again, educating, so we're all on the same page. I think that's imperative for any law enforcement professional, and that was one of the main reasons why I looked at being a member of the NAACP as a vehicle to kind of push partnering with the community, from a law enforcement standpoint, and figuring out ways to where we can come to some type of middle ground, because again, when you look at policing in the urban community compared to policing in the suburbs, some might say it's different,
a little bit,
little bit. You know what I mean, and want to know, well, why is that? Why is that? Why do we police urban America more than we police suburban America? One
word for you: money.
Yeah. I mean, you could definitely make
money,
that argument.
With money comes privilege. It shouldn't.
Right.
But that's reality.
Right.
That's reality.
Right, and which again is one of the reasons why I'm pursuing law school, because it shouldn't be like that. Money does buy freedom. It does. But it shouldn't.
Okay.
The Constitution, the laws should be equally applied to everyone, and it shouldn't be based on anything other than the fact that, you're a human being, you're a citizen of this community, you should be afforded the same laws, the same rights as this person over here who may not look like you.
Yeah, absolutely. And when they talk about, race in criminal justice, all you gotta is, to me, it's class. And you can go all the way back to one prime example, O.J. Simpson.
Yeah. I mean, that was a prime example of how money could potentially, buy your freedom.
Yep. Yep.
And they literally made a spectacle of it, and it gave, unfortunately, it gave law enforcement a black eye, and it took a long time to recover, and then of course there's been several instances since then.
Yep. One step forward, two back.
Two steps back, yeah, and it's sad, but yeah, no, we've definitely seen how money and privilege has afforded a lot of people a different application of the law than, say, someone without these monetary abilities to, get the rest in peace Johnny Cochran's, get the dream team.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's gonna be you.
Well, I'm going. You know what? I'm going to try. I'm definitely gonna try. That's one of the things that the place that I work for. I put my time in, and I don't have to work a day after I retire. I'm set.
Okay.
And they did a great job of doing that for me, and I'm grateful. Becoming a lawyer that's sheer passion. That's not money. That's passion. That's I don't have to be here because I need to be here. I'm here because I want to be here. You understand?
Love that.
Like
Love that.
you need someone that's going to look at you unbiased.
Yep.
And not make it about money, but make it about, well, what does the law say? What does the Constitution say?
Mm-hmm.
What do we need to do to give you the same rights and the same abilities that other more privileged people are afforded? What you understand? How can we level the playing field? How can we balance the scales of justice? How can we balance it?
Yep.
And anybody that knows me will tell you, when you start talking about laws in the Constitution, there's certain things that I'm just passionate about. One being, and I don't want to get into it too much, but one being,
hey, it's just us. It's just us. Come on.
One being,
Drop it.
a jury of your peers.
Okay.
And I've talked to judges. I've talked to a lot of people that practice law, and it's a great question, because who are your peers?
Yeah. Well, it depends.
Right.
If you're talking about something that happened on the job, are those your peers?
Right.
Right. If you're talking about something that happened out here in this courtyard, are the people of this community, are they your peers? So.
Right.
Yeah.
But who gets to determine who your peers are? You understand? And I could argue, and you made a good point, whether it happens on the job or it happens outside of work. Who gets to determine who your peers are? And so those are some of the things that I'd like to not challenge, but bring about a little bit more. Just shed a little light on it.
Okay.
Because I think sometimes, I think when you're the underprivileged, when you're a degenerate, when you're unemployed, are those your peers on the bench that have jobs, that are blue collar workers, that have these 9-to-5s? Are those your peers?
Right.
You know what I mean? So I've often challenged that. Like, what determines who your peers are, and who gets to say who your peers are? Because I can tell you, I've sat in courtrooms and I've seen people that are just like, well, this guy's homeless and he's using a public defender, and those are not his peers. Now, if you're gonna go by age, okay. So we're gonna determine your peers by age group. So
Yeah.
that's just one of many things that I want to shed some light on, to make sure in the event that, I have a client, we go to trial, that you're afforded a fair and equal trial, and you are judged by a jury of your peers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sound like you got your work cut out for you. So.
Yeah, it is. I mean, but again, just like law enforcement, being out here protecting and serving is a thankless job. People don't realize, we suit up to go to battle every day, not knowing if we're going to come home. We don't know. You understand? People just, they're just like, hey, well, this is what you signed up for. This is your job.
Right.
You know what I mean?
My job isn't to die, though.
Right, but exactly.
My job isn't to die.
Right. Just like your job wasn't to die going to the movies, going to church, going shopping, going to school. Yep. Yeah, you didn't intend to get hurt when you went to these places, no more than I intended to get hurt. However, there's an inherent risk for both of us. And we've seen that. And so, again, I take pride in trying to teach both civilians and officers on just how to be vigilant, what to look for, how to respond. Some of my friends are teachers. They're like, well, we're scared. They're not going to arm us. That's a liability. What should we do? Kids are bringing guns to school, and that's another thankless job, and, I think we need to, again, come to some middle ground and train our teaching staff, to not be victims, to protect not only yourself, but the students, from other students. And it's a shame that you have to say that in this climate, but it's the truth.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, Donovan, hey, man, I appreciate you coming out and picking out this pristine location here. People coming by, people interested in what we're doing and all that. But hey, we're not done here. I talked about that. We're gonna do a little quick fire question and answer here to get you out of here. This is my what do I call it here? My black lightning round. You got me all,
this is the black lightning round.
This is the black lightning round. You got me all twisted up here in this beautiful location. We are here in front of this casino. I wish you guys could see it here on camera here, but this casino and this beautiful thing out here in Lake Nevada. Is that where we're at?
Lake Las Vegas.
Lake Las Vegas.
Yes.
Yeah, it's beautiful out here. So, but let me throw a couple of things out here for you. So, there's been a lot of movies made about Las Vegas over the years. What's a better drama about Las Vegas, Casino or Ocean's 11?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Casino or Ocean's 11?
My favorites. Old school Vegas would definitely be Casino.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah.
And I've had the opportunity to talk to some people that were around during that era, and it's befitting. But modern day, I mean, Ocean's 11.
Ocean's 11.
Yeah,
all right.
Absolutely.
Okay. What's a better comedy about Las Vegas? How about The Hangover or Las Vegas? You seen Las Vegas with Morgan Freeman and Robert De Niro and the old guys coming through? Which one's a better comedy?
Hangover. By far.
By far?
Absolutely by far.
Okay.
And only because I've seen it.
Out of those two.
Hangover happens every weekend in Las Vegas. It does. You gotta understand. Every weekend, someone's having a birthday party, turning 21, getting married. There's a bachelor party, bachelorette party. Every weekend in Nevada, that movie Hangover is being filmed.
For real.
Somewhere in the valley. So I've seen it with my own two
Hangover,
eyes.
no doubt.
Absolutely.
All right, so I just heard that the Oakland A's from baseball thinking of moving out here to Vegas.
Yeah.
What NBA team would be a good team to move, aside from my Lakers, because they ain't going nowhere?
Ooh.
What NBA team will be a good team out here? You might get you home, but if it was going to be a team moving, what would be the best fit for you guys?
Well, I'm a Nets fan.
Okay.
I am, but I wouldn't want to take that.
Brooklyn. They just got to
I
Brooklyn.
wouldn't want to take that from Brooklyn. I would have to say, I mean, the Supersonics.
Yeah, if they come back,
You know, if they
going back to Seattle.
Right. Well, I
They-
mean, we're getting the Oakland A's. I think it's going to be a good thing. One of my friends, you know, we were talking yesterday, as a matter of fact, about that, and one of the questions were, how do you think it's going to do? And what he said was, you know, people are at work, typically during the week, you know, during baseball games. And I was like, I didn't even think about that. I didn't think about that. But the good thing about it is Las Vegas is a 24-hour community.
That it is.
So you know, I don't.
I mean, baseball's a big during the week type of sport.
Right.
They even have it, and I always trip out on that. They have like afternoon games, and most people working.
Right.
People will take off of work though to go see their Dodgers, go see the Cubs, and all that.
They will, and hopefully, God willing, you know, I'm here in Nevada. You know, I'll probably still be in school, but be able to go see my Yankees play.
Okay.
So I think it'll be a great thing. One thing I can say is, I've been to Raider games. Stadium's packed. People that work on Sunday will find.
It's still the Raiders, though.
It's still the Raiders. It's still the Raiders.
And that's what they're saying about the A's. You're still gonna have that same management, unless that all changes when they come here to Vegas. It's still gonna be the A's.
One of the things that I can tell you as an avid football fan is, and I'm a Giants fan, a huge Giants fan. The perception that the Raiders had when they were in Oakland, when they came here, it changed. It's a more, and not to discredit like the diehard fans, but the stories you would hear about the games in Oakland, the fighting, the violence. You know, there's a holding facility, you know, in the stadium. It's like, you know what, we have, I mean, good, hard-working people that pay good money to come see, you know, this local team. Some people that have never had a team before, you know, are now, you know, Raider fans, and we've had a following from California to come out to watch the Raiders play.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
And it has been nothing but pleasant.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'm sure Metro PD don't play that.
No.
Right?
No,
and secondly,
no, they don't.
it's kind of bougie, you know, right? It's kind of bougie.
It really is.
It's not Oakland.
And it's you can tell the different. The energy's different.
Okay.
You know, I mean, Las Vegas is, you know, one of the biggest misconceptions is, you know, everybody that lives in Las Vegas, we on the Strip, we live in casinos and that's the.
Don't you?
We don't. We live in beautiful
You
communities
live
like
on
this.
on a penthouse.
Absolutely
at the top
not.
of the Aria.
No, we have families. Our kids go to school. Believe it or not, you know, we work 9 to 5s.
But they learn how to count cars at school, though, right?
Most of them. Most of them, they do. There's a class for that. But I only say that to say, you know, Las Vegas is not just about the gambling, the shows, you know, the 24-hour debauchery. You know, we have beautiful communities out here in the suburbs where it's peaceful, it's tranquil, and we go to Raider games. We do.
Okay.
You know, so.
Yeah. This is supposed to be a lightning round. We getting deep into these
Oh
conversations.
Yeah.
What duty sidearm you carry?
Ooh, Glock.
Glock.
I have a
Okay.
45, 2 9s,
Okay.
a lot of ammo.
All right. A lot of ammo.
Yeah.
All right. You said you're in real estate. How's the real estate market out here in Vegas?
So again, it's a growing community. I don't do a lot of marketing. You know, I get clients by word of mouth. And one of the things I do, not as an agent, but as a consultant, is just give you facts. Like this area right here is top 5 safest community in the nation. You're gonna get a better return on your investment living out here. That's what I do.
Okay.
You understand? Like, I don't have to sell you a house or a paycheck. I have paychecks coming for the rest of my life, thank God, to the law enforcement profession.
Right.
But when I tell you, when you're looking at your portfolio, either starting a centerpiece or adding to it, putting your money here is going to yield a bigger profit based on data than moving over here long term.
Yep.
You understand? So those are some of the intangibles that, that I bring, being a veteran, working in law enforcement, is the honesty.
Yeah.
You understand? And it's not about the paycheck. It's, you buy here, trends have shown, in this period of time, you're going to get a better return on your investment.
No doubt, no doubt. And hey guys out there, if you're listening to the podcast right now and you're hearing all the background, we are out here in the public, in the courtyard, and there's business as usual going on here. So hey, forgive the sounds, but this is showing black and blue street life here. So we are out on the streets.
People are actually working, like doing all types of work. There's a lot going on here.
Say, adds a little bit of authenticity to the podcast right now.
Well, there you go.
There you go. So you were talking about everything's not casino-like, but have you ever won big at a casino?
Me, that's a good question, because not being a gambler, I can tell you, working in the casino and the gaming industry for about 10 years, I have put 5 quarters, and I'm dating myself because most machines aren't coin operated anymore. Right. But I have put coins in, going through the supermarket, and won.
Okay.
And taken my money and left.
There you go.
So yeah, I've had
pull it out. Don't let it ride.
I don't want to say luck. I've had some good fortune. Because I don't believe in luck, but I've had some good fortune putting my money in machines and being able to walk away with more than I started.
Then you came in with.
Absolutely.
No doubt.
Absolutely.
All right. What's your favorite patrol shift?
Ooh, so swing shift.
Which is what hours are those?
3 to 1.
Okay.
3 to 1, and I'll tell you why. First of all, day shift, you got to get up too early, and I've never been a daytime. Never since I've been out here for 30 plus years. I've always worked swing shift.
Because you come stumbling into the house too late. That's why.
so in my 30s, absolutely, absolutely, you got me pegged. But you get the evening. It's busy, but you still get a little bit of the daytime business action. And if you work on the weekends, being able to work on the weekends in a busy area, I think is where you do the most learning. When you're on patrol, as a patrol officer, that varies depending on your job description. I would tell you now I'm on graveyard, but I chose graveyard because I went back to school. Right. So it's not as busy. It's not as busy. And out here swing shift, it's busy. It's busy. Like we earn it. Yep. It's nonstop. It's call to call. We're going from one end of the city to the next, and at the end of the day, when we're hanging up these sweaty vests and we're all in there in one piece, that's the biggest reward right there.
Yeah.
As we went out there, we put it all on the line. And
I'm gonna have to use that for my swing shift people.
Yeah,
I'm a day shift guy, so I work days, and we rely on the swings when they come in. We can take a little break, go have our lunch and all that. Let them handle all the calls for a little bit, and then we get back out there.
Right.
And then by the time we get back, it's almost time to go home.
Absolutely. No, I think
much respect to you.
Well, absolutely, but it also depends on the family dynamic.
Yeah, true that.
You know what I mean? Like I think working swing shift, if you have a family, wife and kids at home, like you want to be home with your kids.
Yep.
So day shift might work, or graveyard. It depends. But if you want to get out there and learn, graveyard or swing shift is a good place to sharpen your skill set, to get out there and make those stops, get those interviews, improve on your interview, your skills. Yeah. And then graveyard was a little bit slow. You can perfect it on graveyard. We're there's a reason why you're out 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, even in Vegas. Vegas.
It is. It's just like, it's like, okay, because everybody doesn't walk down the street carrying a big screen TV at 4 o'clock in the morning. It's like, you know what?
They don't?
No, they don't. Not out here.
Oh, okay.
But it's reasonable suspicion to be like, you know what? Let me see if this guy needs some help with this TV. I'm gonna go.
True that.
I'm gonna talk to him. I'm gonna go talk to him because his TV's big, and he's dragging the cord.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Right now it's April, so it's pretty good temperature out here, but it's gonna heat up. What's it like working in those 140-degree Vegas summer days?
So it's to really fully grasp that, you would have to put on a corduroy suit and walk into a Dutch oven and close it and sit there.
And sit there.
Believe it or not, I've worn long sleeve shirts I've been in long sleeve shirts over 20 years to keep the sun from baking. When I started, we had the Crown Vics, and I was on day shift, and the sun would cook my arm.
Oh yeah.
It would cook it. And I was just like, I forget where I learned, but overseas, I forget which country, but they wear long sleeves year round, and it's actually better it's actually a better protectant.
Yeah.
And ever since then, people are like, why are you wearing long sleeves? I'm just like, because it actually does a better job protecting my skin, and you get used to it. Even before the tattoos, because a lot of people wear long sleeves because depending on if your agency has a tattoo policy, I'm just like, this is actually better.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
And you get in a little scuffle, you have less skin exposed when you're grappling on the ground and doing stuff. So it's actually a protective barrier in the event that you might have to engage. Okay. Saliva, blood, contaminants. Goes on. You have a barrier of protection as opposed to going directly on bare skin.
Skin. Yep.
Absolutely.
No doubt,
Absolutely.
no doubt. And your last one here for you. I know most of the locals don't go to the Strip. So where do the locals go to have fun?
Woo, that's a good question. I mean, I go
to places like this.
I go here. I go here. I mean, this is a great local community, and I think depending on where you're at, I mean, everybody has their favorite, their go-tos, their watering holes, or their cigar bars. Like I have a cigar bar here, there's an Irish pub here, there's a pizza place right there, there's an Italian restaurant down the street, there's a Mexican restaurant right there, there's a wine bar right there. So, as a Henderson local, like this is where I go. You know what I mean? This is my comfort zone. This is where I find peace. But rarely, unless we have to go on the Strip, unless we got family in town, like I do right now, like we're not on the Strip. We're just not on the. We are not on the Strip, dealing with that high level of debauchery and nonsense, because it's a lot.
Sound like me the last couple of days.
Yeah, I mean it's a blessing to have the option to go down there and do some fine dining and act like a tourist, sightsee, and then bring it on home to where it's a little bit more peaceful and quiet.
Yeah. All right. Hey, brother, man, I appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate you too.
coming on to the show.
I'm glad we were finally able to connect, man.
No
And next time you out, I don't know if I'll be retired, but maybe we follow up and see how I'm doing in law school and what other ventures that I have going on.
Lots of luck on that.
Absolutely.
Hey,
absolutely.
Before I get you out of here, though, how about some words of wisdom as we got the quinceañera coming through here? Some words of wisdom before we get you out of here.
Always have a plan B and a plan C. In our profession, we're not guaranteed 20 years, 25 years. Always have a plan, have a contingency plan in case you get into some altercation that's life-changing, and you're not able to do what you could once do. And understand that we do a thankless job. We're paid a good salary to protect and serve. Respect it. Treat people how you want to be treated. And you put good out there, good will come back. Good will come back to you.
Yeah,
good will come back to you, man.
Love it, man. Thanks for coming out here, bro.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you. And
Absolutely.
hey, man, it's starting to get a little busy out here now. So,
Oh yeah.
So we'll wrap this up.
Oh yeah.
And,
It's getting a little
get you over to the pub and
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go over here and have a alcohol-free beverage.
Alcohol-free.
That Shirley Temple. I mean, like these guys take good care of me.
Yeah. All right, bro, man. I appreciate you.
All right, man.
Be safe.
Absolutely.
Yo, that was a dope interview I had with Nevada police officer Donavan McIntosh. Hope you guys enjoyed the environment out here in the public as people walking by and hearing all the sights and sounds of that. Hey, I appreciate all you guys checking out the podcast here, checking out the live here on YouTube. Hey, you can check me out everywhere at Black and Blue US on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, all that. Make sure you check me out. Till next time, my name is Dale. This is Black and Blue Street Life, like that says. Check me out. I'll be back here in 2 weeks with another, not back here, but I'll be back on the pod in 2 weeks with another amazing guest, another amazing interview. But till then, y'all know how it is. Stay black and blue. My name is Dale. I'm out. Peace.
This has been a Maitre D Entertainment presentation.